Hello, everyone. This is number 5. This is our workshop or our class number 5. I would like to thank you all who have followed me so far for our live Evelyn's Creative Boot Camp, because that's what it is. I'm telling you how to do things that are just outside of the norm when it comes to fashion and designing. And hopefully you will see something that you can enjoy. And then I always say, if you're looking at this channel, always go back and look at it again and then chop it up and see what best works for you, because there's a lot to pack. But while people are coming on, I am going to give you a treat tonight. I'm going to show you how to make a skirt out of some pants, and I'm also going to cut out the outfit that I have on um, live. Okay. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to show you what I have. This is a fabric. First of all, I have on a pantsuit, and I have splits on the side. I have splits in the shoulder, around neck. I got a little pleat here, and then I got just a little A-line on the skirt. I mean, on the shirt. This also can come down and be a dress. You can do it in layers: a short top, a long top, past the knee dress, all the way down to below the knee T length, and then a full length. So, further ado, while we're waiting on our class to come on, I'm going to show you what I do every day. And like I said, I don't use patterns. This is the sewing machine. This is the sewing machine that I use right now, the most of. I have several Singer sewing machines. I have all of them are heavy duty. This is the sewing machine that I probably caught your attention. Oh, wait, that's the back of it. This is the sewing machine that probably caught your attention, where I told you I bought my home, one of my homes, with using a Singer sewing machine. So this is one of the sewing machines that I use for heavy duty, because I use a lot of fabrics from Africa. They're all natural. They don't have any chemicals in it. So you need something that can handle the heat. This is the other sewing machine, which is a Singer heavy duty sewing machine. Wrong way. This is another one. It's just you turn the dials versus you doing the digital. Okay. So these are my two. This is my two babies that I use. Not just these two, but these are the sewing machines that I keep around me all the time. And if I have a problem, I can, like even today, one of my presser foots went out. My foot pedal went out. I just grabbed another sewing machine, used that pedal, and I kept on going. And that's why I encourage you, if you get a machine, get another machine, because it's a nightmare if you got a deadline and the machine go out and you got to go get a person to take care of it. Now, I'm not an affiliate yet, but I will be with Singer. And I just want those who will follow me right now to know that it doesn't take a lot of money in a sewing machine to make a lot of money. All you need to do is be committed to saying, "Hey, I want this." The title tonight is "So Like You Own the Island." Okay, when I say "so like you own the island," that means you've been devastated. You don't have nowhere to go, but guess what? You forgot you own this island, and you go to this island and you do a retreat. So you get yourself back together, because life, what they say, life be life and life happens. So if you're in my class and you're under my mentorship, I want you to sew like you own the island. Write it down. So like you own the island. I own the island. Now name your island, because we got somewhere to go. Okay. All right. Before while people are getting on, this is the top that I'm getting ready to cut. All right. Come on. If you're listening, come to the camera, baby, and see what Evelyn is doing tonight. This is 6 yards of fabric. I'm going to do some teaching, but I'm going to also do some illustration too, because I want you to know some things that you can do, because people say, no way, she can't be doing all that without using a pattern or a, what is it, cutting board and all that. Well, like I said, I have all that, but it gets in the way. I don't have time for that sometimes. I have to get it done. Customers are waiting. They got their money ready to pay you. Okay, you see this? This is 2 yards of fabric. This is a new fabric. And for those who are buying all of the boxes for the quilting, thank you so much. I just want to show this while everybody's getting on so we can get some sewing tips. And I think this is what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to start with a project and then I'm going to get to some good stuff. 2 yards of fabric. Now, the reason I'm doing it this way on this, because I want my lines going down. Okay, I don't want my lines. Now, sometimes you can make a nice little cute top going this way, but these are different African symbols and they need to be going the correct way. If you're licensed to do African clothing, you want to do it the proper way. So here we go. Look, technique I told you. Got my hand right here. That's my net. Okay. Here's my net. No pattern. No pattern. Don't stress yourself out that you can't find a pattern. Make your pattern. You know, if you go in the store, you can look at an item and see if it fits you, right? Okay. So this side is still closed. So I'm going to take my scissors. And because of gravity, I'm going to be able to take my scissors. And I'm going to be able to go straight down because of gravity. Just like that. All right. So now this is what they call a muumuu. When you just have it like this, sew down the sides and got a sleeve. Okay, that's what they call a muumuu. Well, you got any muumuu dresses? Well, that's a muumuu. That's like a house dress. But I want to make this into a top. So I'm going to take it like this. And I literally do this all day. Here's my chair. I'm going to take this right here. And I'm doing an A-line. All right. So nothing goes to waste. This would be a miniature dress. I'm 5'2 3/4. So this would be, I'm going to step back so you can see. This would be a miniature dress. I have to go back further, but you can see how long it is. This is a miniature dress, okay? That's if I want a dress. But if I wanted a top like what I'm wearing, I will simply fold it in half. And I know you're cringing like, oh, I can't do this. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Say your mortgage is due or you about to go through foreclosure. I guarantee you. Say you need the money to close on your house. I guarantee you. Now, this is your top. No pattern. Okay? Now, the trick to this is when you cut it like this, you're not a quarterback. So you need your sleeves to be sloped down. Okay? So you got it like this. Look at this. You need your sleeves to be sloped down. So you're going to take this and you're going to take this at an angle because you want the sleeves to go down like this. You don't want the fabric to be stuck up like this. So you cut a slope. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this right here and look closely. All I'm going to do is take my hand up and I'm just going to cut this down just a little bit. And that just makes it come down like this. So what I did, I didn't want a high neck, I want a lower neck. Now, when you do this for yourself, you sew it to your liking. You sew it to how you like it to fit. And then once you put it on, if you want to loose, you fine. You want to taper it. If you want to do darts, that, my friend, is your top. Okay, I'm wearing it today. I'm wearing it right now. I made this today. When I came to work, I was thinking about Jamaica and I wanted to wear something with green to remind me of Jamaica because if on the front of my YouTube, I'm sitting with a big black hat and I'm actually in Jamaica. I was actually there refreshing, getting prepared for what I was going to make for the following year. So I wanted to be secluded on an island so I wouldn't have any distractions. So I have a special bond with Jamaica. Okay, now we need some pants, right? Lord, the girl ain't finna make no pants standing up, Jesus. I know she ain't finna cut no pants without no pattern, without no table. Well, guess what? When you go to work, at a convention and one of your clients tell you they need a pair of pants, they don't care how much it costs, you will come up and you will make those pants. What I like about African fabric is that they always have some type of line. And once you put a good pair of scissors on that line, it just flows. Now I like wide leg pants. I like relaxing. I like palazzo pants. So I'm taking this fabric. This right here will probably be a plus size. This pair of pants will be a little bigger than me, but I still would wear them because I would wear the full legs with a slight heel. But I wear them a little smaller when I'm working. Okay, make a pair of pants without a pattern. You know what size you are. Now this gonna scare you, but trust me, you'll get over it. You can make it. You can do it, girl. Y'all can do it, man. You can do it. I got you. Okay, this your fabric. This is not a trick. I don't do magic. I don't do miracles. I just do a lot of eye and see coordination. So you see this, right? This is excess fabric. This is maybe 2.5 yards left. So we're going to get that out the way so you can really see what I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm just going to use the fold of this chair. I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to use the gravity of the fabric. And I'm going to cut it just like this. All right. Now I'm going to cut the crouch. I like a wide waistband. You can, if you don't have money for elastic, you can always do a drawstring. Okay, I'm just showing. Everybody don't always have money, so I like to do this. This is my border for my elastic. This is my leg. Okay, so I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to take this down like this, and I am going to cut me a pair of pants. Now, if I want them really wide, I'll keep them like that, but I don't really want them that wide. So now I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut it like this. Now, this doesn't mean you don't have to use a table. I'm just telling you what I have to survive with when I go to different states. And I just have to have all my stuff on my table to display. And then somebody asks me to make them something. And I want to get started before I get back to my hotel room, or I will do it right there in the room. So now I got that one side right there. Cut this down. Like I said, the gravity is what keeps the fabric going down. Now, here you go. Here's my pants. I can go dancing. You know what I mean? I got my pants on. Now, if I want to put some pockets, which I will put me some pockets. This right here, I'll put my pockets in. And that, my friend, is you making an outfit. Look at this. This is your pair of pants. You got the wide legs. You can take it in. You can do the skinny legs. You got your blouse, which you can actually take this blouse and turn it into a jacket. And what you have left, if you want to do a collar or a head wrap to go on the back of your jacket, if you cut this open right in the middle, make a jacket. Here you go. This outfit can be made if you have any degree of sewing, and don't be worrying about a lot of stuff. I'm gonna get that book for you. I'm gonna bring that book out my bag. Don't sweat the small stuff. This outfit can be made in 45 minutes. This outfit can be sold for $120 in 45 minutes. This outfit can be made in 2 hours. So you pick your speed. It depends on your degree of sewing. If you sew with a wider stitch, you can sew things quicker. And then you just go back and you can zigzag this, but you don't actually need a serger. If you want to go serger, sewing, pressing, you can take all day to make this. But if you needed some right now money and they was going to come turn your lights off, you make this in 45 minutes, press it out, give a nice pair of earrings or a scarf to go with it, and your clients will be there with you for life. First quality fabric is the secret. Quality fabric. This doesn't stretch. This is all cotton. Always make it bigger. And that's what I have on today. Now, what I did with this, I just did a little something like a little pleat right here, just to give it a little definition. I could probably do another pleat like right here to give it a little bit more definition. And you're ready to go. If you want some pockets, inside pockets, you can do all of that. But if you're sewing to go online to make something and to sell something, you get your item sewed up, you prep it. You don't have to do all your finished work. You just want to get it looking good on the outside. Take your photos, and then I can do 2 more garments out of this much more fabric. So when you put it online, you can make more fabric. Or if you're just sewing for yourself. So before we get started, I'm gonna show you one more trick because I got a lot of stuff for you tonight. I want to show you what you can do with some jeans. How you can take some jeans and make a skirt. This is the skirt. This is one of my popular skirts that I sell right here out of a pair of jeans. Okay. If you have a pair of jeans and those jeans are too small, this is perfect because it'll make those jeans fit you perfect. Okay. So here's a pair of jeans. I'm going to take these jeans. I'm going to look at these jeans. I'm going to use this on the back side of this chair right here so you can see. And once you become a pro or you really know your craft, you can sew anywhere, anytime. You can get out of any situation, any bind, any debt, if you just know how to have confidence in yourself and put the pedal to the metal. Okay, this is the pedal and the foot is the metal. So I'm showing you how to survive and I'm showing you how to thrive and I'm showing you how to make good money with quality garments. Okay, here's a pair of jeans. Got a pair of jeans right here. Now, what you want to do with the jeans is you want to cut the jeans about 1 inch below the pocket. Don't cut the jeans too close to the pocket because you need a seam allowance. All right. Now, when you cut a pair of jeans to make it into a skirt, what you got to do is right here in the front, make sure you can see me, right here in the front where you cut the jeans at, you want to take your scissors and cut up to the top. You want to take your scissors and cut up to the top of the pants or where it was pants. And then you're going to overlap this. See right here? You want to take those jeans, cut them right here, overlap this and sew right on top. You don't have to always sew if it got a different color thread. You can still use navy thread to sew right there. And what that does is that makes it from spreading to be a pair of pants to bringing it in close to fit like a nice skirt. The same thing in the back. When you do the back, even though it looks fine, you take the back and you cut on the opposite side. You cut on the side where you can tell where it's folded over right here. You cut on that side and then you take this and you pull it right to there and you sew down straight, just like that. You sew down straight. So you see what I have about an inch underneath? You take that and you sew that down and then you sew it straight. And then that's when you add the bottom. Then you just clean it up and make sure that it looks a little straight. You just do a little fine tuning where it's about the same size. But wait before you fine tune it to after you do that. Okay. And once you do that, you just add your fabric to it. I like the little fishtail look. And then I just add that to it. See how I cut that? I brought this down a little bit further, but it doesn't, because I wanted the skirt to be short and I wanted to show more denim. But I brought this down a little further. And then here's the back right here. See right here on the back? And then this is a stretch denim, so it fits multiple sizes. So if you have a pair of jeans or you do a lot of denim line, then this is a sell to all, listen, it sells to all cultures, all races, all sizes. Okay, don't matter who the person is, they like denim. If they want paisleys or green or cotton or linen or lace, like pink. I saw those pieces you did. You showed me some nice pieces. If you had this right here and you put like that white shrug you made and you put this at the bottom and then you just put a lining in it, this would be nice to go with that item. So some people are sending me things that they make and I really appreciate it. Miss Brenda sent me a nice piece when she made a quilt. You're sending me pieces and I'm looking at them. I'm like, wow, they're already up the road. But those are a couple things that I want to share with you. So you can get, now these right here, before we go to business, real business, this can be made into a jacket. You can take this in the back and you can put your arms in it and make it to a jacket, add more to it. Or you can take these legs, slit them up, and add them to the bottom of the skirt and make fishtails all kind of ways. But none of this goes to waste. This is really good first quality denim, and it goes great. Okay. All right. Look like we got some people watching. First of all, if you're just coming on, my name is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations. You're in the master class tonight. This is Evelyn's Creations Boot Camp. This is a campaign to get people to sewing and coming out of different situations. And I just want to, before I get started, we had a nice class on Sunday, and we were going over quilts, and we had some people online from Jamaica. And as you know, Jamaica is suffering a big storm. The person, I went back and looked at my notes, her name was Beautiful. And before we get started, I want to just close our eyes for a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds to pay homage to those who are struggling without lights, security, water, everything in Jamaica. And if we could just give a moment of silence. And Beautiful, if you know Beautiful, and when you come back up with electricity, we got something for you, Beautiful. We're gonna take care of you, okay? Okay. Thank you so much for giving me that time for Beautiful. And she was on and she was chatting and we was having a good time talking um, on Sunday. If you did not know about Sunday, we had a pop-up live class, and that class, I brought one of my girlfriends in, and we were talking about quilts. And several of you have written me or text me to get a box of goodies. And I know some of you open it up and show me what you got. Well, there's a box of goodies of fabrics that I made several things out of that I put together, and I always have a little something extra in there for you. You can actually text me. I'm gonna give you the number, or you can say I want a goodie. If you see this later, the number that you can text to get information on that is 407-590-8767. And please text me that you want a box. Don't ask questions on that text. It's simply if you want a box of goodies for that, and I will get them to you for you. In fact, I mailed them to you immediately. Okay. Excuse me. I want to do something really quick here. Okay. Now, we got some business to do. And as you know, in order to do business, there's sacrifices we have to make. And so, first of all, thank you for all of you who are subscribing, and a special thanks for all of you who are members. Now, I want to let you know that it takes a lot to bring this together and to get better. The reason that we're asking for memberships is because we want to get better. I want to be able for you to be able to see me better, and I want to be able to address you better and let you know exactly what's going on. So let me tell you what is going on. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. Because this is important. It's very important. I want to acknowledge some people while it's coming up. We're having a issue here. Okay, while it's coming up. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is what I need to tell you. If you're looking at this channel, there are some warriors. See this lady right here? I'm gonna show you this. There are some warriors. This is a warrior. This is a woman from Ghana. She was she was over the wars, and what she did, the people were giving up, and the British was getting ready to steal their gold. So her brother said, I want my sister to lead the war. Okay, I want my sister to lead the war. She can save us. So what she did was she faked out the British. They thought they were stealing her gold stool, and she had a fake stool. So what I want to tell you is that, I've got to tell you a story. These people names that I'm getting ready to tell you right now, These are warriors. They said, Evelyn, I got you. I'm going to pay $2.99. That's what I said. $2.99 to help you bring this to us because we need it. So if you have the means and you can buy a membership, I'm still in the store, so the store phone's ringing after hours. But if you have the means of paying $2.99, I would love for you to be a member. Okay, Donna, I'm gonna say first names because I didn't see anybody who had the same name. Donna, Christy, Pearl, Lolo, Kim, Pink, Laura, I'm Lovely Dove, New Refine, Miriam, Miss T, AKOS, Akos. I don't like the messing in one names. Renee, Sun and Sand, Tiffany, Shamira, Vanessa, Kathy, Michelle, Moni, Cynthia, Charlotte, Keaties, Michelle again. So that's Michelle Caldwell on the second one, and Michelle Glover on the first one. If I see you have the same name, I'm going to call your last name. Tommy, the skirt lady, Alita doll. Alila. Okay, Florence, Empress, Kick It In with Cove, Caitlin, Dreamer, Logan, Miss White, Queen, Shanit, EJ, Aisharat, Amsterlin, Alicia, Kiki, Terry, Yana, and Jenny. Okay. If you and Brenda, Brenda, I love you, Brenda. Brenda got the quilts for me. If I didn't say your name, I'm looking at it as I see it pop up. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And everyone who's listening and looking, please know that they're the reason that I'm here tonight. They're the reason that's putting the skin in the game and say she's worth it, you guys. Come on and do this, okay? So that now we have the roll call. I'm asking you to be a member. If you can watch to the end, there are some offers that I have for you if you want to get some private coaching and you want to move this up the road, because I'm telling you, it says so like you own your island. And what that means is that this is the fourth quarter of the year. And the fourth quarter of the year is when you got to get in and you got to dig yourself out of debt. You got to get in, you got to put some skin in the game, you got to make your garments. In fact, one of the sisters, when I say sister, that doesn't mean color black. That means we all are sisters and brothers. One of the sisters today said, I'm not going to make your lie because I'm going to be sewing. And I love that. She said, I'll catch you later, but I'm going to be sewing at that time. Because when you sew, you have to sew when you are in your sweet spot. You have to sew when you can get at your comfort level. And if you got things you got to do, you got to get them done. In fact, you leave, you don't eat and stuff. You do what you got to do. So I love when somebody tell me they're going to be sewing and they're going to catch up with us later. So those are the things that I want to let you know is we have offers for you from $120. It's $120, $500, $750, $1,000, and $1,200. And the difference is your skill set and what you want. I'm gonna tell you about the beginning. The 120 is just you just want a basic little tweaking. Which way should I go? That's like one call a month or whatever, and I answer your questions. The premium is on the end. It's when you want to get all the way up and running. This is a 1,200 offer, and you want your own YouTube channel. Now you can always graduate to the next level. The $1,000 the $1,000 campaign is to get you all together, get you set up and running, show you how to get a different bank account so you can get your business right. Excuse me. And you can make it happen for you. So there's different levels about if you're ready. Where I'm going to start out with, first of all, is people. I'm going to start out this time with advanced people. The advanced, I have allergies, so if I flare up, I have to drink something. If you allergies and asthma, if you already have an online business, what I want you to do is I want you to make 30% more items. I'm going to start with the people who already is sewing and are online. Okay. If you already have a business and you have 100 items for sale, I really want you to see can you get 30 different items added to that 100 items, so you got 130 items per sale. So I want you to go up 30% of what you have. And then I want you to make sure that when you have a sale, This is how you have a sale. You have a sale the day before people get paid. And the best time to have a sale is to have a sale from third. Now for us, or for me, for this store is, hold on, let me turn off this fan. Is the day before people get paid. Because a lot of people shop and look at stuff while they're at work. So you have your sale from Thursday to Monday. All right. You have a time when you have a sale. And sometimes if you can't get your items fully stocked, you might not be able to have a sale. Because once you have a sale, your phone gonna keep ringing. Ding, 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 ding. People are buying what you want. They buying what you got. They risk buying. So you got to make sure you got inventory. That's why you got to go 30% up. Because people are shopping. Like right now, people are really shopping. They're really buying online. Don't look at all this snap fear. Don't look at that. People are going to be buying regardless of the situation. Do not get overwhelmed with TV and everything they're saying that there's poverty. Hit delete. Hit delete. I didn't mean to do that. I'm excited, y'all. But hit delete. Seriously. Everybody is not broke. I got a movie. What a movie. I got a video on that. If you are making your garments and you're making them from your soul and your heart, the creator is going to bring you the customer. Make your garment. Do not get stuck in all the other stuff. Don't get stuck in all the other stuff. You can sell a garment prepped. I can sell you that skirt right now that I showed you because you saw what I was going to do to it. So don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in, I don't know if they're going to buy. They're going to buy. They will buy. You just be a nice person, have a quality item, say what you mean and mean what you say. They're going to buy. Okay. So you got to have your inventory. You got to get it out there online. You got to refresh your website. If you have something on your website and it's not selling, change the picture. Not change the item, just look at your pictures and give it best picture. And that's what's going to help you make those sales. When you sell that item, make sure you give them a thank you card, your business card, or if you don't have a business card, write your name and your phone number and just tell them to text you and put it with the item until you get money to make a business card. Don't wait till everything is perfect before you sell. Start selling because you need the money. You need to pay for your island. I'm talking about a real island, not like a lily pad. I'm talking about an island with hotels, with food, with nice, ambiance. I'm talking about so like you own your island. That means don't be waiting for things to be perfect. That means use what you got, make what you have work, and don't get stuck. What I don't want you to do, I don't want you to think about just selling cheap stuff. Okay? Oh, they don't have no money. They don't have no money right there, but they got some money over there. And they got some money over there and over there and over there and down there. Okay? So don't just before you get up, pray about what you need. God will provide your needs. Okay? He gonna provide your needs. Whatever your religion or whatever faith, he will provide your needs. Okay? So what you got to do is you got to get yourself ready. In other words, if you need some gas and that gas station don't have no gas, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to the gas station that have the gas. So if you're not ready, they're gonna go to somebody else. And guess when they're gonna come back to you? In February. Now it's November. It's November. November is Saturday. Christmas is in December. So people are shopping now and looking now to see what they can buy for the holidays. Make everything evergreen products. Make evergreen products, meaning that even though I have this outfit on and it might look good for the holidays, guess what? Got my breast cancer stuff on underneath here. If you got your stuff on and you like it, as long as it just don't look like a Christmas tree, like the ugly sweater thing, then you can sell it all year. You want to get your clients ready to do business with you now, so they'll be a client with you for life. But you can't do it if you don't have it at least hanging on the hanger. Okay. Don't get caught up in the small stuff. Get caught up in inventory, inventory, inventory. Think of it when you go to the store. If that store don't have a plenty of corn, and I'm talking about if it's fresh produce or if it's canned goods, or if you go in the store and they only got 4 or 5 bags of apples, you're gonna be like, oh, they don't have no inventory. So you got to have your inventory just like you shop. Now I know you're gonna say, I just can't make that much stuff. Get your samples together. The other items, remember the fabric after I had left, I can make another one of those outfits. So I'll lay that flat. The other outfit, I'll hang it up, I'll take a picture, then you tag it. And if you got a small space to sew in, you put it to the side and you make your other item. Just because you don't have a big space doesn't mean that you can't make a whole lot of money. Now, also, if you're selling from your home or your friends or your family, or if you're selling beyond and you have a website, you make sure you got the stamps.com so you can get that your items picked up from your front door. It's, if you're on a mission to get out of debt, if you're on a mission to buy you a house or to pay your house off, you gotta lower the steps. So if you can get them to pick up your stuff from the front door, it makes it that much easier. If you got an urgent overnight, then you run to the post office. Try to control your time so you can put more. We call it in the biker word. We call it in the saddle. Spend more time in the saddle. This the saddle. This the saddle. So on like that. Okay. So I'm starting off with my advanced people because I need you to be making some money. I need you to be set. I don't need you to be sitting around saying, "Oh man, Christmas is in December." No, Christmas is now. Christmas is right now. People are buying right now. If you saw me this week, I was showing you about the Christmas ornaments. I'm selling them all day. I'm making, look, I got a box of Christmas ornaments. I got a box of Christmas ornaments today. They were old inventory in an old store. It was a dollar store I stopped by on the way. A Dollar Tree, if you know what a Dollar Tree is. But nothing in Dollar Tree is $1. But anyway, I bought 30 ornaments for $7. And I used fabrics and I made, if you look, I made the little ornaments and I put a little string around them. I just sewed the top around the top, but you don't have to do that. You can use pinking shears to go around the top. But those ornaments sell for $12 each because they have the nice little African flair on it. All right. So the ornaments, you get 30 for $7. And there's $12 an ornament. Now it cost me, it's reason it's $12 is because it cost me $6 to ship it. So even though I make $6 off that ornament, how many people actually buy one ornament? Raise your hand. Nobody buy one ornament. They buy a dozen. They buy 3 or 4. And so when they buy an ornament, if they buy 2 ornaments, I give them a free one. If they buy 4 ornaments, I give them a free one. Or I give them 2. If they buy a dozen, I'll give them 14. So what I'm saying is that people like to buy little things and they just like, this is my year and there's a little ornament. And so if you got a special fabric and you just don't want to sew, you want to have a little pet project, a pet craft, then try ornaments. People buy ornament without even thinking. Now, I'm going to go down to my not so advanced students. Y'all are my tribe. Y'all not my students. Y'all my tribe. Now, for those who are in the middle, if you're in the middle and you're trying to figure out what you want to do, if you sell an item anywhere from $20 to $50, it's usually called a no thought process. What is a no thought process? A no thought process is, oh, I only spent $20. That's what that is. It's not going to break the bank. So today, someone came in the store and they asked me, would I make them some ponytail holders? And I'm like, sometimes when you make big stuff, your mind has to shrink to something small. So I said, sure, I'll make you some ponytail holders, but you have to buy 4. So I would make one for $5. So my threshold to sew for any one basically is $20. If it's something very simple, I have a threshold. It's like You know how you have a light bill, and if you was gone all month, they have a minimum charge because your lights is still hooked up. That's how you do in your sewing business. If you hemming pants, if you're hemming a skirt or a dress, if you're in a bridal dress, whatever, all those can go escalate. But if you got a baby dress or you got a pair of pajamas, you know, if and there's two different things. If you sew by hand, it's more than if you sew by the machine. So someone said they made a pair with a hem a pair of pants, they hem a pair of pants and they didn't charge enough. Well, there's a sweet spot right there. If you got a sewing machine and you can hem a pair of pants, don't overthink it. Get the person to try on the pants, mark the pants, pin the pants, use the iron, press where that fold is. You got the sewing machine. When you start walking, always hem the pants starting on the inside of the leg. Start on the inside. So if it's a crooked stitch, it's right there on the inside, and then sew it around. And then you got the other one, and then you sew it around. It's a 10-minute process. It might take a few minutes to get him to try them on or her to try them on, but it's a 10-minute process. So if you can make $1 a minute, that's good. That's $60 an hour. Okay. But don't overcharge because you got to build a clientele. Because if you charge $20 to do a hem on a pair of pants that you can do in 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes, then that person will think about, I can't go get all my pants hem. So that means he'll keep his money in his wallet. Or they'll start wearing what they call stacked jeans. They don't even hem them. So that's when it's scarcity or it's unaffordable. Scarcity means nobody's sewing. Unaffordable means it's too high. So if you charge a good price, $10, that might make you $50 because he'll bring 5 pair. If you doing by hand, it might be $15 to $20. So don't shoot yourself in the foot. Make sure that you can get as much repeat business, the same type of person, because it's less stress. If every person is difficult, you will stop sewing. Let's just be honest. If every person is difficult or don't turn the way you turn, you're gonna say it's not worth it. I'll sew for myself. I'm not doing it. But don't do that. It's too much money out here. Look at me. Read my lips. Don't do that. It's too much money out here. You guys are fortunate to have me. I'm gonna ring my own bell because I'm telling you all the secrets. Nobody's sewing. They can hardly even find people to sew in the cleaners. Okay. So if you are here and you are listening, you have an endless abundance of wealth. You can make your own hours. You can set your own prices. You don't have to have a license. You don't have to have a certain type of machine. You can start with a needle and thread and you can make as much money as you want. If you want to stay up all night, you can make some money. If you want to buy, if you want to put a roof on your house, put that as your goal. Put that as your goal, that I'm going to put a roof on my house. And that way, when you put that roof on your house, it's going to be paid for before you even tell the man to come put the roof on the house. I'm not talking about a shade tree. Shade tree mean a person that do stuff on the side. I'm talking about a licensed roofer that's going to do it right, put new trim work around there, clean it all up. And when he leave, it ain't going to be no nails on your ground. Okay. That's the kind of money you can make when you go to sewing. Now, I strongly suggest that when you sew, you put your sewing money over here in another account or even another bank. So when you sewing, you don't just start taking from that money because you forgot they put it in there. When you start looking at, oh man, I made $500 last night. They bought this much from me yesterday. Oh my goodness. Then you can take it and transfer it and pay however you want it and get it up. But you need to see that money separate so that you know you got it. And the best thing about sewing is you never have to wait for payday. Payday is every day. Because if you're not sewing anything to make wealth, somebody's sowing a seed in you to buy what you made. This is the key to sewing. Sewing, when you sew, it's a trade. You're trading your talent and your gift for their money. What you trade for has to be worth more than what they're giving you. Just remember that. When you go to the store and you trade for a good cup of coffee and it's $5, just say Starbucks, but it's the best $5 you spent. You want to feel good when you buy it. You want to feel good when you're drinking it and you're willing to trade. That's the same thing for your garment. The only difference is the garment lasts forever. The garment doesn't just go down and it flushes through your system. So when you're making something, it has more value than when you're eating or drinking something or having a great meal. You remember the ambiance, you remember the feeling, the time, and everything. But when you give a garment, you say, look, this have a 20-year lifespan. Upsell your stuff. Tell them, hey, you buy from the best. Because there is less and less and less of people sewing. I mean, it's like it's the last thing they think about. It's the last thing they think about. But if you use your hands and you eye coordinate and you build something, it has endless possibilities. And it sells to all. Look, don't think that like today, a Mexican lady came in the store just before we closed tonight, and she had 2 kids, and they looked like they were had African American fathers. Okay. And so she wanted those kids to have something to make them feel their culture. So she came in the store and she just started pulling everything. She wanted scarves. She wanted to wear belts. She just was like pulling everything. And so I'm back there looking, and the manager's looking, and he says, which one you want? And she said, I want all of them. Lord have mercy. She didn't care about what the price was. She look, she bought about 10 long scarves, and she was gonna wrap these 2 kids all around. She had these kids. It could have been Halloween. I don't know, Halloween tomorrow, right? But whatever it was, she wanted to make sure those kids represented their culture. And that's why if you're here and you have a different culture and people say, oh, that's not gonna work, don't let nobody tell you it's not gonna work. If you have a niche, don't let your niche be too small. And what that means is, if you see all these people talking about sewing on YouTube, they're always telling you, find your niche. Find your niche and stick with your niche. Meaning, if you just do blouses, just do blouses. Don't do that. That's stupid. Do not do that. Do not just think you could do blouses. Do not just think that you could do shirts. When you go to the store, would you just go to a store that only had blouses? Well, don't set your store up like that. Would you go to a store that only sold pants? When have you seen a store only have pants? If you want to know how to really do business, on our last week, I told you about this man right here. He studied human behavior. This Sam Walton, the first richest man in the world that got, look, he got generational wealth. His great unborn grandchildren gonna be wealthy because he got the biggest food chains, making car, everything. All right. So what I'm saying is, you want to get with a coach that's going to tell you, if you got some fabric left and you can make a quilt, make a quilt. If you can make some scarves, make a scarves. If you can make some bandanas, make some bandanas. Make your store like a store. Don't be stuck. Don't be stuck with one color. That might be your favorite color, but add some other colors. Add some other colors. This might be my favorite fabric, but I got linens, I got laces. And people say, well, what do you make? I said, what do you want to buy? You want solids, you want plains, you want this. What do you want to buy? Because a dress gonna cost what? The dresses today, right here in the store, average dress costs about $250. Okay, that I make. The average dress I make for just a regular dress with some bells and whistles costs about $250. It doesn't matter. I can do it in a nice fabric, a lace fabric. Now, the more the fabric gonna cost more, but I don't limit myself that if you don't want an African outfit, I'm not gonna make it. At the end of the day, you got to have a neckline, you got to have your sleeves, and you got to have a way to put it on. All that's the same. Everything else is bells and whistles. So when you set up your store, make sure you set up your store for success. Make sure you go outside and say, what else? If you see somebody, if you just sit on a bench and you're looking at somebody walking down the hall and you say, I like the fact that dress is shorter. I like the fact that dress has one sleeve. I like to stress, like Marion. Marion showed me some tops, the butterfly sleeves. I like that. If you see something that's different, then you're gonna have people that like you that's gonna buy that. So don't limit yourself. Remember when I had a couple shows back and I was showing you the kids' clothes? You know, I got a lady gonna drive 2 hours to get me to make a 2-year-old two little dresses. She gonna drive 2 hours one way and 2 hours the next way. So people will buy from you all over. Now, what she could do is just send me a little small dress that she already has, and I can make the dress, show it to her, and ship it back. But she want to have the experience of seeing somebody make the dress. She said, I just want to see you make my daughter a dress. So the moral of the story is do not put yourself in a pigeonhole. If you make quilts, they take a long time and they deserve to be charged for what they're worth. But in the meantime, we were talking about make some smaller items because I don't want people that do crochet and do quilts or just make hats to not be wealthy. I don't want you, if you follow me, that if you have a certain niche and you're not able to make $10,000 a month or $5,000 a month, that it's not for me. It's for everybody. There's enough money for everyone to accomplish your goals. You just can't be on a one-way street. You gotta have peripheral vision. You gotta see what it is. Remember what Denzel said? Do what you have to do in order to do what you want to do. So if I want to just sell and make African clothes, I'll do that. But at first, I got to see what the needs of my clients are. And when I put stuff online and they say, I want more, I want more. Can you paint it this way? Can you do it that way? Sure, I'll do this and I'll get it to you today. So that's what I want you to do. So if you're in the middle, then do that. Now, if you're a very beginner, we're at the last stage here. If you're a beginner and you're sewing or you want to learn how to sew, then what I want you to do is first just get your needle and thread and start looking at a few items that you have and say you do handwork. And that handwork, people like precise when they want things hemmed. If you just put and let your people know your notifications of however you found me, I do fine needle handwork. Just practice. Just practice. Because when I started sewing, I was 7 years old, sitting on the stool, and I was making baby doll dresses. And I would take little rags and make baby doll dresses, sitting on the porch, didn't have nothing to do. And that's why I started making baby doll dresses at 7 years old. And look at now. I'm trying to hope that they haven't tore that apartment complex down where I was making those dresses at seven years old. So you can start on any level. You don't have to have a big heavy duty sewing room or sewing machine or a lot of fabric or a lot of money. Start where you are. Use your own skill set. If you don't have any money or you don't have a credit card, what I would suggest, when you make a few items with your sewing at the basic, go to the bank and put your own money on your card. Build trust with the bank. And then once you do it, then you get a card, and make sure you don't just get any card. Apply for a card that gives you cash back. Make sure your money is giving you back what you put in it. I needed a charger yesterday. I went and used I need a new card. I left the charger in the phone. I had to run out to the airport to do some deliveries. Stopped by Walgreens. That's a drugstore. Got a plug. It was $7.99 because I had cash back. Here, give me $3. $3 for an $8 charger. It doesn't seem like a lot, but guess what? I saved $5. So use a card that you get cash back. And that way you got more. You feel good when you get a little bit back from doing that. This right here is the time that everybody sewing can be wealthy. It's the best kept known secret. Listen, look at me. It's the best kept known secret. Look, I give you a challenge. Make some Christmas ornaments. Who gonna say no to that? Who gonna say no to that with no sewing? take the, and this is how you do a Christmas ornament. If you have an ornament, you put the ornament in the middle like this, and then you see how much fabric is left. Before you cut the fabric, take the fabric and put the ornament around the fabric. Before you even cut it, take the fabric and put it up. And if the fabric is too close to the edge, then you want to cut it a little bit taller. So if you got this piece of paper, like this can be a small ornament, but you might want it a little bit bigger. So you cut it this way. Cut it maybe like 1 inch wider than the paper. And then when you do it, then you just take the corners and you curve it. And then you just do the zigzag. Then you take a little piece of fabric and you tie it in, and then your ornament comes out like this. I know this sounds like that's too simple, Evelyn, but I'm gonna tell you how to make $5 in 2 minutes. And you can say, hey, I got a sewing project going on and I need a new sewing machine. Would you like to contribute to my business? Because everybody listen to me, you have a business. You are a business owner, and the business is you. Okay. So if you have a business, then you got to do right by your business. Who want a business sitting over there like this? You want a business that's up. You want a business that's thriving. You want a business that's saying, oh my God, look what I made today. You're going to grow wealth by the fruits of your hand. So this is the time people are buying ornaments, and especially if you got a friend and you know their kids' names, and you can put their name on the ornament and put the year on the ornament, then they'll love it. Every year they'll have a different ornament on the tree. So this is a time and if you don't like Christmas, people buy ornaments. Sometimes you might, it's not, if you're not religious, you can do something else. But basically, you can sell an ornament, whether I have somebody in my store that manages my store that don't like Christmas. But he like his paycheck. So that lady want those Christmas ornaments. Man, you better put them ornaments in that bag and tell her thank you, have a nice day. And so he get over it, right? So what we have to do, we have to look at the time of the year, and we have to be in the moment. Don't excuse me. Don't wait till just before the holidays to get in the Christmas spirit. If you are with me and you're part of my tribe, that means you have to be 1 to 2 months ahead of what's happening. You cannot start making your Thanksgiving is going to be in 25 days, right? So right now, if you make table runners, you need to be getting those table runners. Make a table runner, show what color the table runner. Everybody want their table to look nice for Christmas. If you make napkin rings, you know what a napkin ring is, right? You just take the fabric and you do it like this, and you put something around it. You got a napkin ring. You can sell the table runners. You got a lot of men that are single. They want their house to look right. You got a lot of people that's sick. They want their house to look right. They want their house to feel good. So don't wait. Don't sleep on, oh, I wonder if they're going to like it. No, they're going to like it because you made it. All right. And don't worry about being perfect right now. Worry about being persistent. Worry about being Don't worry at all. Just stay focused, stay persistent, and build your inventory so you can make your money. And then when you make your money, then you can have a rainy day. Because sometimes when you're sewing, you're going to have a bad day, or you're going to have a slow start. When you're sewing, it's a certain type of harmony that has to be right. It can't be you just sit down and sew. You can sit down and sew a pair of pants, but it could take you a long time if your equilibrium and your spirit is not together. So once you start sewing and you get in that rhythm, you don't even need food sometimes. Sometimes, like my husband say, I got to slide our food under the door because she ain't even hungry, So we want to make sure that when we're sewing and we got a good day, we get all we can out that good day. Okay. If you start sewing and you're not having a good day, then that's when you do something else. Maybe paint something or maybe do something else. But be persistent. Like one person asked me, do I set time to sew? Or what they said, do you set time to sew, or do you have certain days that you sew? I sew every day. I sew every day. Every day I get in there, I sew every day. I sew what people have bought online. I do make sales every single day online. I do make multiple sales online every day, and I have three different websites. Now, the site that I would have for you all, the reason I don't give you my websites, a lot of you seen it already, you know where it is, you Google my name. But the reason that I don't show you my websites is because I'm trying to get you to know me and to trust me and to know that I'm genuine so I can help you to get your sites up. I'm not here just to try to push my sites. I am going to make the next revolution of sewers and seamsters and designers and crochet and quilters. I'm here to be that vessel to help. But I say nudge you, and I'm not nudging anymore. I'm pushing. I'm pushing because it's the fourth quarter. I'm pushing you to your excellence. I'm pushing you to where you could be the best you could be and you don't look back. I'm pushing you that if you got a problem in your life, you can cry to success. You can get out of the slump. You can help somebody else up and you can make a family tradition for yourself. So that's why I'm not pushing that. I am promoting me coaching you because that's what's needed. Because there's a lot of people not really telling you how to do YouTube. YouTube, you need to learn from yourself right here. You want to do YouTube. Don't listen to people. Read the people that made YouTube. Why you gonna listen to somebody and they telling you all this stuff? Read it for yourself. Everything I tell you, you read for yourself so you'll learn for yourself so you can make a decision for yourself. But right now, we're in a crisis in the whole world. Everybody has control of the purse strings. It's time for us to control our own purse strings. It's time for us to know, when we need to buy stuff, food, water, we need to have the funds. We need to be in control. I'm going to even tell you this. If a woman was in charge, if I didn't tell you earlier, we wouldn't be in this situation. A woman would be compassionate. She will understand. She'll tell you when you're right. She'll tell you when you're wrong, and she's gonna do the job. If we had one strong woman in a certain area of politics or oversight, they would have the level head to say, well, what about the kids? Or what about tomorrow? Or what about next week? So we have to be the women and men that are sewing to build our economic wealth so we can be able to help ourselves and then be able to help somebody else. And if we don't do that, we can't just rely on a job. When they're cutting jobs like this, I mean, they're slicing jobs, they got layoffs, and people are saying they're not going to get paid, they back pay. You can pick up anywhere. And I know most of you, if not 98% of you, can find a couple $100 and go buy a sewing machine. If you got to tear up your own clothes and make a handbag or a jacket or a hat or a skirt, you can come up. You can borrow somebody's electric. You can go sit at the corner and sew something. So it's a untapped wealth. Listen to me. Look through my eyes. I'm telling you the truth. It's an untapped wealth. If you can sew anything, you have a skill set that we have two generations that don't even know about sewing. If you have a sewing skill, you can make it work. Just don't get caught up on the small stuff. Make multiple items, make different colors, make different sizes, and make it where it will sell to any race. All people like something Afrocentric. Okay. Sometimes it looks Japanese, sometimes it looks Caribbean, sometimes it looks this. But at the end of the day, they just like color. They like vibrant. Okay. But I'm not going to get caught up just with that. I'll do solids. Another good secret is if you do white, if you can find a source with some white fabric, white is now selling all year. It used to just be white in January or Easter. Now people are asking for white garments all year long. All sizes of people, all shapes of people, and all cultures of people. They're looking for white. They're looking for white for First Sunday. They're looking for white for funerals. They're looking for white for weddings. They're looking for white for going on the beach, a white party, all white night. So that's something that you should always have. That's something I'm going to make sure I have. I'm going to make sure I have an all white. I have white, but I need an all white. I need a white section. When you come in, do you want skirts, you want pants, you want a dress, you want the high end, you want the low end. So I have to dedicate. I'm going to make 50 pieces for white. I promised myself that I'm going to have white. Nobody's never going to come in here again and say, what do you have white? And I only got 4 little white dresses. No, store too big. I got to listen to the consumer. So I'm going to give you that secret. If you're selling anything, people like white. And I'm going to tell you why they have to always have white. White fade. White turn yellow. White don't always stay white. White gets stains on it. So it's a fabric that can always be sold. You can start at Walmart and get some white. They got, just do you some samples. Remember I told you that Waverly fabric? They all, well, Walmart always has some white in there. They have some white and they have some white. But most of the people want the white. Every now and then they'll ask for the off-white. But that's a good thing, is if you can get some white, you will do well. I promise you. And I'm seeing that myself. I try to listen to my customers or my clients, so when they come back, that they don't, I mean, where I am in the mall right now, I'm in between the food court and JCPenney's. So when they walk to me, they don't almost walk the half a mile. It's a big mall. They don't walk the while. So when they come and they tell me, Miss Evelyn, do you have white? And I'm like, what do you want? I need it right now. Okay. If I had something prepped, look, if I had some dresses already prepped and I said, I can finish for you in 15 to 20 minutes, I could have made some more sales. If I don't have it and I got to tell you I can get it, they're going to walk somewhere else to see can they find it. This time of year, you're not going to find it. So if I have my act together, that's another $200 or $300 that I can make probably in a day or that month. And it'll add to my bottom line. So I got to listen to what they're asking for. So when you out there and you selling, you want to make sure that you are getting what the customers ask for. I got one more thing before I start answering your questions, and I'm gonna let you go. So if right now people are gonna ask you for they're gonna ask you to come and vend. So this is a vending tip. If you're doing a vending tip and you're gonna set up a booth somewhere, then I'm gonna show you. Okay, when a person come to your booth, I'm gonna kind of show you. When a person come to your booth, make sure you're not looking. Make sure you're not looking like you're selling insurance. Okay. Set your booth up so that you can engage the customer. So look at me right here. If you have a booth, set your booth up like this. You know how you have a football stand like this? Okay, do like this. That's how your booth should be set up. All right. If you're selling clothes, put your clothes racks on the side. If you're fortunate to have 2 racks, all right. If you need some racks, you can go to Uline, uline.com. Now, these, if you already have a business, or you can go to a place called Bar Display, BARR. Don't get them cheap racks at Walmart falling apart because you're going to be embarrassed. Get a rack that's heavy duty so you can push your stuff in on the rack and you can put your luggage at the bottom. So spend $100 on a rack. Don't get them cheap things. They're gonna make you mad. Okay. So this your booth like this. This a touchdown. Look like this. It's a U shape. Put your table in the back or your table on the side. Say if your table's right here on the side. If you only have 1 rack, put your table on the side and then put your rack on the back. And then have a chair. Always have a chair for the elderly to come in and sit down. If they got to do their transactions or they got to go into their purse, always have a chair for your customer, okay, or your client. So you have your rack here. You have your table. Your table could be here or there. Now, if you have 2 racks, put your 2 racks on the side and then use your back table for your jewelry or pillows or whatever. If you got quilts you're selling, if you want to do a big quilt on the backdrop or whatever, you want to make sure that. The reason that I want you to have your booth like a U is because I want people to come in and you befriend them. So your customers or your clients come in, especially if you're doing something at the church or you're doing a festival or anything that you You're going to have your display. You're selling your items. You say, look, I'm in business. I'm doing this. This girl got me. She got me going. Evelyn got boot camp. She got me going. You're going to get paid. You ain't going to be entertaining. Be serious. Set your things up. Make sure all your things on your rack are on the same type of hanger. If you got white plastic hangers, make sure all your hangers are white. If you got black, make sure they all are black. Okay? You got jewelry, make your jewelry nice. Put it on displays or put it on some rocks. Put it on some things so it looks very professional. Okay? And then have your cards right there and stand outside your booth. Hi, come on in. Can I show you something today? What are you having today? Oh, I'm just browsing. Okay. When they come through your rack, fix your rack back up. Hello, can I give you a card today? Give them a card. All right. And then, can I get your name and address? Is there something that I could send you later? Oh, no, I'm just looking. Oh, sure. I want that in blue. I might need it next week. Okay. Can I have your email address or you can text me? Can I text you? Yes. Get used to selling because when you want to make money, you got to be selling. And then what happens if you have an older person that they see that you got a chair, look, a chair open means welcome. It means welcome. So when you got a chair there and it's open, that means welcome. Come in and have a seat. And when they come in and have a seat and they don't feel rushed, and if you have the luxury to bring some water, even at room temperature, when they come in and say, would you like some water? If you sit down and you give them some water, they're gonna stay longer and they're gonna be happy to be there with you. And they're gonna spend money with you because you gave them hospitality. Sell them an experience. Don't sell them just a garment. And if you can buy a nice shopping bag, even if you got to go to a regular store like a dollar store and buy some beautiful bags before you start buying them in the hundreds, get a nice bag with some tissue paper. And when they walking by, they're going to be, ooh, I just got me a bad outfit. Oh, my goodness. I can't wait to wear it. All right. So that's what you want to do if you're doing trade shows. Don't just throw it up. Think it out. Organize it better than your closet. Make sure people can feel through. Have a clipboard. Can I get your name and number? Can I help you? And when you do that, you're on your way. So when you go and you start selling online and people start asking you questions, you can think about it and you can respond to them in a professional way that will make them feel like you worth talking to. Because most people are talking to Chat GPT, or they just talking to a chat, which is an AI that's trying to figure out how to answer your question. You're not talking to a human. So the more human you can be, the more friendly you can be, the more engaging you can be, but cut it off. Don't overhuman so you can't get it done. Know when to talk and know if you got another customer coming in their booth. Hi, I'll be right with you. Thank you. Okay, man, would you like to have a seat? I'll get back with you. So learn that hospitality. Just because you have the nicest stuff don't mean you're going to make the most money. The most money going to come from your mouth, your energy, how you treat people, and then they're going to open their wallets. And some of them don't care how much they spend. The nicer you are, the more they spend. Okay? That, my dear, is Evelyn. And I'm going to stroll through this. So I know it's been a long one, but I am getting you ready because we will not have a online on Thanksgiving Day. We will do it on Wednesday night. I'm giving you a few weeks early. The week of Thanksgiving, we'll do our online on Wednesday night. We'll keep it short and brief because I know you're going to be trying to get your things together for Christmas. So we want to do that. Miriam, thank you. Hello, Pink. Hello. Betty, yes, ma'am. Damalia, yes, ma'am. So like you own the island. That's exactly what I said. So like you own the island. I learned that from Susan Taylor. She used to be the editor of Essence Magazine. And when I would work with her, she would say, you guys, you're young. You got to sew like you own the island. Someone says they sewing right now. She'll be back. Make your own pattern. That's right. Look, don't even make your own pattern. Just look, you don't have to have the reason that I tell you I sew without patterns is because I don't make patterns. When you see a person, learn the eye coordination. All right. If you got to just have something that's like, say, if you got a pillow that got to be a certain amount, you still don't need a pattern. You just need the measurements. Stop thinking that you have to have a pattern. You got to start thinking that I have to survive. Okay. And when you have to survive, you will learn how to do that. And Pink is asking me how many yards for the pants. Okay. I would say it depends on the pants shouldn't take no more than 2 yards. 2 yards is the most, and then you'll still have to hem them. Unless you're really like a 6-foot person. 2 yards is all it takes to make a pair of pants. Hello from Canada. All right, somebody from the J Bubba Sewing Room. Pack sign up tonight. All right, please. Thank you for signing up. Thank you for becoming a member. The membership makes us grow. Okay, this is an eye opener. That's my purpose. My purpose tonight is to open your eyes, to make you see exactly what you can see. And when you see that, you will grow immensely. You will grow immensely. You will grow immensely. So let's finish this last question here. Somebody's late, but they're here. They was there on Sunday. Oh my goodness. Somebody said they sold a poncho. So listen, if you sold, this is Constance. Constance says she sold a poncho. All right. Pink made a shawl. Miriam made a blouse. And all of you are getting your packages. Our contest or our assignment is everybody to make a mini quilt. So if you're ordering your items, make a mini quilt so that we can celebrate our Christmas, and we are showing you how we are bringing ourselves together, because I want everybody to experience every other person's craft. My next person is going to be a crocheter I'm having on the channel. Okay. So we're working up our timeline, but well, look at that. You guys are still here. You still here. This video was packed with a lot. We showed you how to make a dress, a shirt, or a pair of pants. We showed you how to take a pair of jeans and turn them into a skirt. We gave you some business tips on how to survive on all levels. I did from those advanced that have websites, those in the middle, and those who are new, and those who are just starting out. I want to make sure I carry everybody. I also want to make sure that we have different type of offers for whatever skill set you are. I follow with you. You have direct access to me. And at the same time, I check my phone like every 2 hours to see if anyone needs help. And then I'm here for you. We're going to grow this together. We're going to make this this is called Evelyn's Creations Boot Camp. That, my friends, have a great, wonderful evening. Thank you so much from the islands. I'm sewing right now on the island. I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I care about you all. I appreciate you. And I want you to know, I want your sewing skills to grow beyond measure, and that you have a wealth of abundance, and that you can share it. And when your household is having a crisis, you can be able to say, what am I going to make to make that happen? If you put it in the universe, every single time he will come through. And he'll make sure that you get what you need. But you got to need it, you got to want it, and then you got to take action. Love you guys. I'll see you next Thursday. Keep sending me those pictures and photos. Have a wonderful evening, and thanks for taking the live. Take care. Bye-bye.